Hi everyone. Now it is the last concept which has to discussed in the chapter 2, that is about composition of coplanar non-concurrent force system. So in the previous one we have discussed about the coplanar concurrent system. Now it is about coplanar non-concurrent force system. So in that we have to find out what is the moment of a force. Moment is defined as the product of the magnitude of the force and the perpendicular distance of the point from the line of action of the force. If you want to find out a moment of the force, it is always force into perpendicular distance. Geometrical representation of a moment. So we can see here there is a sketch which represents the direction of the force is horizontally right, that is F, which is having a triangle of OAB. Consider F is represented in magnitude and direction by the line AB. Let O be the point about which the moment of the force is required. It is nothing but if horizontal is the force, then we should consider vertical is the distance. The same way, if it is vertical is the force, then horizontal should be the distance. So here the moment of force F about O is equal to F into small letter A. F is the force and the small letter A is the distance. That is AB into OC. That will be equal to twice the area of a triangle of OAB. The moment of force about O is equal to 2 into area of triangle of OAB. So now there will be of three important theorems: Lami's theorem, then we have Varignon's theorem. These are, and as well as the parallelogram theorem. These three theorems are very important in the chapter 2 of first module. So the last concept of that is very important, is about Varignon's principle of moments, that will discussed on the concept of coplanar non-concurrent force system. So here, if a number of coplanar forces are acting simultaneously on a particle, the algebraic sum of the moments of all the forces about any point is equal to the moment of the resultant force about the same point. So we have the proof here. There will be of different triangles which has been made with a trapezium, that is ABOD. In between that it is a OAC, OAD and OAB triangles, which is having the forces. We can see here F1 is the force between A to B, F2 is the force between O to B, then A to D is the resultant, that is R. Let O be the point which the moments are taken. Construct a parallelogram ABCD. ABCD is the parallelogram now. ABCD and complete the construction as shown in figure. By the parallelogram law of forces, the diagonal AD represents in magnitude and direction the resultant of two forces F1 and F2. Let R be the resultant. Then if you want to find out the moment of force about O, that is 2 times of area of triangle of OAB. Then again the moment of force about O is equal to 2 into area of triangle of AOC. The same way moment of force about O is equal to 2 into area of triangle of AOD. But the area of triangle of AOD is equal to, we can see here the triangle of area of AOD will be having two triangles. That is area of triangle of AOC plus area of triangle of ACD. Also the area of triangle ACD is equal to area of triangle of ADB, that will be equal to area of triangle of AOB. Then area of triangle of AOD is equal to area of triangle of AOC plus area of triangle of AOB. Multiplying throughout by 2, we obtain 2 times of area of triangle of AOD is equal to 2 times of area of triangle of AOC plus 2 times of area of triangle of AOB. That represents, that is moment of force R about O is equal to moment of force F1 about O, that is between OAB, plus moment of force F2 about O, that is AOC. So we can see that F1 and F2, how it will fluctuate about O point. Similarly, the principle can be extended with respect to the number of forces to find out a moment with respect to Varignon's theorem as well as on the corresponding numericals. So now we have the numericals based on non-concurrent coplanar system. So the first one, for the non-concurrent coplanar system, as shown in figure, determine the magnitude, direction and position of the resultant force with respect to point A. So now we have to find out with respect to point A. So to find out sigma fx, the number of horizontal forces, that is, one is horizontally right, we'll consider positive, horizontal left will be as negative, then plus 25 and minus 20, that is plus 5 Newton. the plus sign indicates horizontally right side. Then sigma Fi, the number of all the vertical forces. So if it is vertically upward positive, then vertically downward is negative. So now it is 50 Newton, which is vertically downward, and 35 Newton, which is vertically downward. So minus 50 minus 35. That represents minus 85 Newton. So if you want to find out the resultant, then it is R is equal to square root of sigma Fx square plus sigma Fy square. That is square root of phi square plus minus 85 whole square. That you will get as 85.15 Newton. That will be the resultant. So somewhere here it is resultant is going to act. So to find out the resultant direction, position is nothing but the distance from point A. So to find out that, R into D is equal to, that is in terms of where exactly it is going to act. 35 is vertically down, 25 is horizontally right. So you can consider to find out the moment, R into D, D is the distance for the resultant, and 35 into 4, 35 is the vertical force and 4 meter is the horizontal distance, 25 is horizontal force and 3 meter is vertical distance. So that will be 35 into 4 plus 25 into 3. Then D is equal to 140 plus 75 divided by 85.15. That you will get distance for the resultant is 2.525 meters. So the resultant magnitude is 85.15 and the position is 2.525 meters. So this is the way to find out the numerical. Then the second one, determine the resultant of the force system acting on the plate as shown in figure below with respect to AB and AD. So we have different kind of numerical here. That is with respect to the non-coplanar concurrent force system. So we can see here there will be of 3 inclined forces, and one is vertically downward, that is at point B is 20 Newton, and 10 Newton which is inclined at point D. The angle of inclination with respect to horizontal is 60 degree, and there is a couple is 10 Newton meter which is acting clockwise, and 5 Newton the angle of inclination is 30 degree with respect to horizontal, and here at point A there is one force is 14.14 Newton, that is having the side slope is 1:1. If it is the side slope is 1:1, then it is tan 45. So tan 45 is 1, then you'll get theta is equal to 45 degree. So sigma Fx, all the horizontal forces, 5 cos 30, so horizontally right, so plus 5 cos 30, here it is horizontally right again, plus 10 cos 60, here it is again horizontally right, plus 14.14 cos 45, that is 19.33 Newton. Then sigma Fy, so here it is vertically upward, plus 5 sin 30, and it is vertically downward, minus 10 sin 60, here it is vertically upward, plus 14.14 sin 45. Then I'll get sigma Fy is minus 16.16 Newton. Then resultant R is equal to square root of sigma Fx square plus sigma Fy square, that is 25.2 Newton. And the resultant position is, we can find out with respect to the direction is, theta is equal to tan inverse of sigma Fx by sigma Fy by sigma Fx, that is 16.16 by 19.33. Then you'll get theta is equal to 13.89 degrees. So to find out the moment, R into D, the same which you applied for the previous one in the previous numerical, R into D, that is 16.16 into X instead of D, they are saying it is X, is equal to 20 into 4 plus 5 cos 30 into 3 minus 5 sin 30 into 4 plus 10 cos 60 into 3. Here we have to consider plus 10. Why it is only plus 10? Because it is directly given the couple is nothing but it is already a force into distance, so we need to consider it will be as a force, it is a moment, well, so that will be as a couple. So then you'll get X is equal to 107.99 by 16.16, that is 6.683 meters. Next numerical, for the system of parallel forces shown in below, determine the magnitude of the resultant and also its position from A. So we have a beam which is having the point A, B, C, D, and the resultant we have to find out. There will be of all the vertical forces which is acting upward and downward. So at point A, 100 Newton vertically up, point B, 200 Newton vertically down, at point C, 50 Newton vertically down, at point D, 400 Newton vertically up. And we have the distance between A to B is 1, B to C is 1.5, and C to D is 1 meter. And we have to find out where exactly the resultant is acting and what is the X distance. Sigma Fy is equal to plus 100 minus 200 minus 50 plus 400. then sigma Fi is 250. That is resultant is sigma Fi itself, because it is only vertical forces. So plus 250 Newton, which is acting vertically upward. Because you are getting plus sign, it represents vertically upward, since sigma Fx is equal to 0. Assume, we have to consider the moment of forces about point A and applying the Varignon's principle. So we have to apply the Varignon's principle to find out the moment. So to find out the resultant distance or the position, it will be 250 into x. If you are considering towards point A, it is anti-clockwise. So minus 250 into x is equal to minus 400 into 3.5 plus clockwise 50 into 2.5 plus clockwise 200 into 1 minus 100 into 0, because it is acting at point A itself. Then x is equal to minus 1075 divided by minus 250. So minus will get cancelled. Then x is equal to 4.3 meters. So the x distance is where the resultant is acting. The position is 4.3 meters. So this is the way to solve the numericals in coplanar non-concurrent force system. This completes the second chapter of module 1. So in the next session, I'll start with the module 2. So all of you just go with the notes as well as all the videos which I have sent for the module 1, for chapter 1 and chapter 2. So if you are having any queries, you can contact me. Okay, thank you.